All right, good afternoon and welcome to 101 on LAPAI TV. I am Ali Abdullah Kure, your host for today. And with us in our studios today is the IBB University ASUU chairman in person of Dr. Galadima Audu Bala, who will be discussing with us concerns raised during their press conference, which held yesterday in IBB University Auditorium. Good to have you with us today,
Thank you
sir.
very much. Good afternoon, viewers.
I've actually introduced you a bit, and it is my utmost belief that it's your first time on LAPAI TV, and our viewers will want to know who Dr. Galadima is.
Well, there's not much about me. I'm an ordinary citizen. Uh, my background is I was born in Lagos State to a military family of Major Galadima Brian Kacha. My local government is Kacha, and Kacha is one place that I'm very proud to have come from. I'm a citizen of Niger State as a result. I've lived most of my life outside Niger, and I'm back here. I'm a lecturer with IBB University, Department of Mass Communication. I did my first degree with the University of Maiduguri. Then my master's was from my Bayero University, Kano. Then my PhD was with the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, all in mass communication. Teaching has been my career all while. And I'm very passionate about unions, about fighting for the right of people. And now I have to fight for people and myself.
Thank you very much for that wonderful description of yourself. Now, coming back to the business proper, there was a press conference, like I earlier stated, which took place on Tuesday, the 21st of July 2026 in IBB University Auditorium. What is the motive behind that very press conference, really?
Well, the press conference was necessitated by a lot of issues that made it very necessary. If you are aware, IBB University is a state university, and a university is a university, whether it is federal, state, or even private. University is about universality, a learning place where people come in to share ideas, mold brains into useful people who can make the society better. Now, the people who mold people to make them better can never mold somebody better if they are not better. We are teachers. We build the workforce of the country. And then our counterparts in other places are doing better than us. It is no longer news that Nigerian lecturers are part of, if not the worst, they are part of the worst world over when it comes to economic affairs. And coming from history, we have stopped comparing ourselves with lecturers in Harvard, in Germany, US, and other places. In Africa, if you consider Africa as a whole, Nigerian lecturers are the worst paid, even up till now. You can find out. Now, if you look at IBB University, where we come from, many of us are in that university because we are passionate about education and we want to move our state forward. Many of us started as GA. Today, we have risen to a position where we can say the destiny of the university is in our hand. Whether it succeeds or fails lies on our shoulder. Now, the owner of this university is the governor. We call him the visitor. He's the owner of the university. Now, he holds the knife and the meat to decide the fate of the university. But those who make it work are we that were on the ground. Now, if I am hungry, I cannot teach. If I am not well taken care of, the best in me will not come out. Now, there are many areas that we need the intervention of the state government in IBB University, especially as it regards funding. IBB University, well, it may not be the worst funded in Nigeria today, but it requires a lot of funding. Now, we had uh, as at last year, you remember, ASUU was on strike nationwide. Now, one of the reasons was that we make our welfare better. Now, they had a lot of meeting for which all stakeholders, particularly the state government, the vice chancellors of the universities, and every other stakeholder that has anything to do with education was well represented in that discussion. And an agreement was reached between federal government that was representing uh, the government and the other represent, including ASU. So an average agreement was reached on the welfare. Nobody can get it all. Sometimes, because of the interest of the younger ones we're trying to mold, even when they give us small offer, we accept so that we can move on. Strike does not solve the problem. So the agreement was reached and passed last year, 2025, to take effect from January. Now, from February this year, we submitted a copy of that agreement for which every stakeholder was represented. Even the day it was inaugurated, it was launched. Representative of IBB universities were in Abuja. Now, we took a copy of that agreement to the vice chancellor for onward taking to the governor. Even advance copy was submitted to the commissioner. Today we're in July. Nothing has been done about that agreement as it concerns IBB University LAPAI. All federal universities today are enjoying the content of that agreement. About 11 state universities today are enjoying it. I can give you a list of them. Bauchi State University has already implemented that agreement. Benue State University has implemented. Even Yobe, that is small, far, far smaller than Niger State. You can't even compare Yobe with Niger State. They have paid. And they are implementing it already. Till today, Niger State, it has not been implemented. And the content of that agreement include both financial and non-financial aspect. It includes issues that concern the management of IBB University and the issues that involve the state government. There are minor ones that IB University can take care of. There are some that do not even require finance. Of course, as at yesterday or the day before yesterday, a circular finally came out, the one that concerned the aspect of democratizing the head of department. That one is already being implemented because of our pressure. And then we now realize that we are in a state university where the state government does not believe in paying arrears. And that agreement is supposed to take effect from January. We submitted a copy since February. It is still not being implemented.
All right, sir. Sorry
So
to
it
quote.
became necessary because we could not reach the state government up till now.
All right, sir. Sorry to cut you short on these very aspects. A lot has been said so far since we actually started this program. And then, if I'm not mistaken, when you speak about the welfare of the staff, is not limited to funds alone. Can you categorically itemize what your demands are in regard to this agitation?
Good. The first demand on the table, in fact, generally speaking, the demand is all about the implementation of the 2025 agreement between federal government and ASUU. And the basic thing before us today is issue of CATA, that is consolidated academic tools allowance for the academics. Second one is the professorial allowance, which is also very important. The third one is the unacademic allowances, which we had meeting with the state government in December last year, and we were able to reach agreement between us and the state governor was with us, where he said the amount we are being owed, he cannot pay it at once, but he wants to break them into 13 months. We agreed that he will be sending the money in bits every month. He started in January. Between January and now, it's 7 months. They have paid only twice. Can we really say that these people are taking us serious? And as this one lingers, other ones are coming,
Other ones are
are
piling up.
piling up again. So, and by the time it piles up, it will look too big to be resolved. And Niger State is not a poor state. The governor attested to this many times. That we are getting more resources than we used to get. Of course, there are always unexpected exigencies that require the funding, but priority makes things easier to resolve.
All right, sir. One of your agitation, if I will actually get, apart from the staff welfare,
Hmm.
you made mention the fact that the university itself is underfunded by the state government.
Hmm.
What do you actually mean by that in a very simple term?
You see, for any organization to succeed, you need funding. There are so many things that IB University can do if they have a lot of funding. If you go around, look at the student hostel, look at the classrooms where they are being taught. As it is raining now, there are many classrooms in IB University that lectures cannot hold because you see water dripping inside the classroom. I don't know how it is in the student hostel. Look at the issue of sanitation. Look at light. Look at internet. These are the things, the tools required to make a university function. We are trying to improve the ranking of IBB University, and these are some of the indices that you put in place. If the students and lecturers are not comfortable receiving lectures, learning will be difficult to take place there. If the lecturers do not have money, they are thinking of how they will eat lunch or eat dinner. They will not have the concentration to teach, to carry out research, or even do community development. These are the issues, and they require funding. No matter how good a vice chancellor is, if you don't have money, there are many things you cannot do. Administration will become very, very difficult.
So, sir, you will also recall that before the coming of this present governor, all funds are actually managed by the university to some extent. And with the coming of this very present administration,
Hmm.
it's as if the entire fund is being channeled directly to the uh,
The state government.
the state government. What has been the relationship of the university management, the ASUU, and the Ministry for Tertiary Education in regards to the restructuring of the school welfare and to ensure that everything work hand in hand since then till now.
Well, the relationship between the unions and the university management, we can say is a cordial relationship because we are not fighting. Once there is an issue, we raise it, they call us, we talk. And this is aimed at preventing unnecessary crisis. But you see, crisis management does not start and end with just communication. You require action, providing our needs each time we talk. Nobody can get it 100%, but at least let us see that you have the will to change the things. Now, the fund of the university today is with the central payment system at the government house. Now, we are left between the devil and the deep blue sea. We that work in the university, whether it is with the government or with the management of the university, we still have problem. When it was with the management of the university, you realize that the funding was so poor that the university needs to go and start looking for money, scrapping money here and there to pay ordinary salary. So when they took it to the state government to handle, salaries were coming very well. But there's what we call third party deductions. We've been having series of problems with it. Sometimes they will deduct money for cooperative or unions. It will take weeks before the money get back to the cooperative or the unions. This is our money, it's part of our salary. So what they are paying us is amputated salary at those points. And when we raise the issue, we're meant to understand that we will choose between one or two. Either to go back to this old system where our salary will not be regular, or to continue with this one where we'll continue having problems. If unions or cooperative have reasons to do deductions today, it may take you the next 3 months before you can actualize that. Which does not, in fact, beside this, it removes the independence that the university system is supposed to enjoy. We call it um, university autonomy.
Autonomy, yes.
It removes the autonomy. This system removes the autonomy that a university is supposed to enjoy. But if you insist on going back to the old system, the state government will starve you of fund. So you are left between the devil and the deep blue sea to choose one.
All right, sir. You mentioned your demands as the
Mm.
chairman of ASU IBB University chapter. Of course, if these demands are not made in time, what is the next line of action?
Well, our demands are not rocket science. that one would say is impossible. They are very minor demands. And all of these crises would have been removed. You see, when crisis brew, it is a result of no communication or poor communication. Now, we have interacted with management. We have interacted with the council of the university. We have interacted with even the Ministry of Education, and we are not getting results. We have requested that let us have audience with the visitor of the university, who is the governor. And the governor we have today, he's an intelligent person, and I'm not holding brief for him. You see, we have the belief that if we gain access to the governor, most of these problems will be resolved, even immediately. But every attempt to see the governor is being thwarted
Now,
by the gatekeepers.
are you actually saying that the third party, which is probably the Ministry for Education, is actually blocking the way
Yet
towards?
every other person involved in taking us to the governor, they are refusing to do that. Even the Nigerian Labour Congress, the NLC, we have made several requests that we want to meet with the governor, because the governor made a categorical request with us that any issue that will lead to strike, we should make sure we get to see him. We should request to see him. And we have made several requests across all necessary parties, even the vice chancellor of the university. He has promised to make arrangement for us to see the governor, and it's not possible because there are some things that are beyond them. It is only the governor that can resolve it. So make access for us to see him. They are saying no. The only way we get to see the governor is when we declare strike. So if there are those who make peaceful resolution of our life, we have told this line before, and whatever is happening now and likely to happen later is not going to come new to us. We believe that once the message gets to the former governor, he will do the right thing. But if he doesn't do the right thing, we will do what we are left to do with. And we are not doing it because we don't want to teach. We are not doing it because we are angry. We are not doing it because we hate the education or we want to truncate the peaceful atmosphere that exists in the university. We are trying to send a message so that it gets to the former governor. Now, whatever he decides is left for us to worry about, because everything we decide today or he decides, there are always consequences to it. He's somebody who loves education. He wants to see the progress of education in Niger State because no society can develop without education. So we are asking him to do the right thing. And we believe that when this message gets to the former governor, he will look for us and will resolve the matter peacefully, because this strike is not necessary. But if it becomes inevitable, we have no other option. We'll take it.
All right, sir. Thank you very much for your time. And now we've come to the end of our discussion on 101 on LAPAI TV with Dr. Galadima Audu Bala, who is the ASUU chairman of Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida here in Niger State. Sir, we sincerely appreciate your time, and we hope whenever we invite you for discussions such as this, your doors will be open for us.
Inshallah, my door does not even have key. It's wide open. Everybody is free
All right,
to
sir.
invite me.
Thank you and good